There is only one road to success, and we all have it. And today I'm deciding to take it. That road is becoming our authentic selves. That's why we were born. That's why every single human came into the world, was to become their authentic selves. That's that self that is connected to God, spirit, all that is the universe, however you think of it, but we all have it. And we don't always do that, though. We don't always live it for a lot of different reasons. But then what happens is we discover something that can take us there. And that's what I did. See, because that success is always within us. It's our consciousness. We have a connection to everything that has existed in the world that is within us, but we have to decide that we're the ones who are going to access it, live it, and use it to create the lives that we want to have and also contribute to the world. The world is not going crazy, as I've said before. The world is waiting for us to awaken to who we are. The world is waiting for us to love ourselves and become the successes that we could be. But we don't always do that because over generations, we've been taught something else. And so this particular time in our world, which I've said is a restructuring, which I also think is a spiritual evolution, because we're coming to know that each of us matters. We have worth and purpose, but we've also been programmed to believe that isn't true. For years, I kept saying I'm going to do my TED Talk, and it's going to say I'm not crazy. My life makes sense, and how I found my life purpose. That was going to be the name of it. You see, because I kept receiving this information for years and years and years, and what was happening is that it changed my life. It transformed my life. It healed me from all kinds of things. And the reason that I'm becoming my authentic self today is because I have to. I'm going to turn 73 tomorrow. I don't have that much time left to get out this work and to complete what I've done. See, because I created and downloaded for more than 35 years transformational mindset work that can heal any person, guide them to who they're supposed to be, and help our world become what it's meant to be. Because see, you let go of every kind of negative thought you had about yourself. You start to discover your life purpose. You start to live it. You start to love yourself a bit more. And then, because that's a constant process that we're all moving through continually, but we have to get over our disbelief about what we can do, because we all have that. We will see something that's in front of us and think, oh, I can't really accomplish that, or something's happening in the world and I can't affect that, and I can't take this next job because it's not me, and all of that. And then we start running into that imposter syndrome. Yeah, I had that for a long time. I could not have possibly done what I've done. I'm an imposter. Did that one for a few years, but then I could no longer do it because I saw people come out of the work that I had created, that I brought in, and they're changed people. They're happy, they're successful, they're creating businesses, they're thriving from this work. But it was challenging for me to accept that I had done it, even though I lived it. Anyone who's read my book, Overcoming Fear, A Guide to Freedom, might get a sense of this, because I've been through everything in my life. I've been through so many things, but what happened was, as a result of that, I was able to heal them. I was able to develop the concepts that I can give to others to have it work for them. Today, I received just this incredible thank you note from one of the members in our program that's saying, I am so happy that I am here. I love you guys so much. I have never felt this much love. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for allowing me to be here. That's what came through. I will never convince certain people that it will work for you if you don't believe that you have something within you that just hasn't been activated yet, that you could bring to the world and cause your life to become what you want it to be and contribute to our world. Everyone has that, but it's an individual choice that we make. And there are certain things that we don't understand about consciousness. We can access it at any time that we want. That's why we talk about mindset. There are every program, every mentor coach that you're working with has talked about mindset. And then you wonder, well, I'm not getting there. I can't do it. Why isn't this happening? Well, I've proven that it can't happen, because when you start understanding neuroscience, when you start understanding that you can give yourself new information to change the limited thoughts that you have, and if you do it on a consistent basis, your life changes. And you will hear some of this because there are plenty of testimonials from others who were talking about this work. People who said, I changed things that I could not do for more than 35 years. Another person said, I didn't know I was angry. I'm not that anymore. Another one said, I thought something was wrong with me. Now I know that's not the truth. Another person said, I've always felt weird before I came into this work. That's the work that I'm doing, because I want everyone to understand you're never weird, you're never lost, you're never any of that. You just needed a plan, and I created the plan. Now, why did this work? Because I sat down and I started receiving information. It was cosmic information. I've talked about this. I didn't say that I was this mystic. I didn't want people to have that idea, but that's exactly what happened, which allowed me to access this information. In 2020, I discovered that I had ADHD. Now, that was a big jump for me, because it said, wow, this could have explained so many things. And then after I moved through that, I realized, oh, I'm so grateful for that. See, when we understand that everything that we've been given in our lives has a purpose and it has a meaning, and if we love it, then great things come from it. So because I had that condition, so many people might call it, I was able to access this information and put it together. And then I was able to prove it, because it produced the results in my life. The things that I've healed physically, because everything is a mind-body connection. When we are not connected to who we are, that authentic self, which I know is your eternal soul, when we don't connect to that, then our lives go off track. And I did that for a long time. That's why I said I'm not doing that anymore. And I would receive information well before it would show up in my life, so to speak, or show up in the world. And that's been going on for a while now, because when I would put out things, and even people who would come to my Wilhelm channeling sessions would hear things from years ago that are happening in the world now, because we have this consciousness that is always ever present. But we have to let go of it. What's happening in our world now is that a lot of people haven't let go of what's old. And so the way that you become what you're meant to be is let go of the old stuff in your life, decide to access who you're meant to become, love yourself, and then everything heals in your life and you add something to the world. I'm going to show you a message that came through 3 years ago on my birthday, November 2nd, but it came through in 2020. But if you read it, we read it now, it'll make more sense. I've always been a person that has loved others. I just care about people. I can't stand conflict. I don't like violence. None of that stuff. It's just been who I am. And so I have given and given and given for years. But now I need to kick back. Now I need to take it easy. But let me let you see this, because it will make a lot more sense as to who I am and what my work is, which I'll explain. Okay, love always wins. Now, if we think about the world right now, we're seeing all these wars, we have to understand that everything is energy. Love is this energy. Okay. We awakened Roger today with those words, and he kept questioning why we were doing so, and we will explain. The next thing Roger did was search our messages, which you are welcome to do, for the word love. Roger discovered what we had told him for decades, but is only making sense to him now. As we have said, you and your world are moving through a massive restructuring, and the new structure that is to emerge is you loving yourself. You think it is about the pandemic, the election in the United States, or other world challenges and difficulties. However, this is about you. You each are born with your physical missions that when they then cause the collective whole, meaning all of humanity, to evolve. Your part is essential and can never be judged as right or wrong, but merely an element that causes the whole to become more. We led Roger to a message we delivered years ago where we said the experience of pure love is more powerful than anything. When you understand that everything is energy, and the lighter the energy, the more powerful it becomes, the next sentence will make sense. Pure love holds no judgment. It becomes more potent because it unifies and gathers more power. You and your world are doing that now. We will leave you with this and continue more tomorrow. You may discover during this period many of your discarded beliefs about who you are and what you are to accomplish in this life. And when you remember love always wins, you will love yourself. And that was the only goal you had in this lifetime. Now you may understand why we keep saying you will be fine. I had written so many messages and received them saying we will be fine because there was so much chaos going on in the world. And I knew everybody was going to be really frightened, which is why I wrote the book in 2019 about overcoming fear, a guide to freedom. That's energy again. And when we can move through that systemic generational fear that has existed within us, then we start to see a very different world. All the conflict that we're seeing in division is about those people who are not willing to let go, so you can decide that you're going to change that by loving yourself. And so my work guides you through that. This is a mental process. And if you go back to some of the earlier principles about development or self-actualization, all of this is self-actualization. No one can do it for you. You have to do it. And that's what I had to come to. The only difference was I happened to, with everything I've lived, every kind of career, business, all the stuff I've done has infused this work with enough to give to people where they can become the greatest success ever. And it's already happened for many, many people, but I'm talking about it now because I will be changing things because I haven't finished. I'm going to spend the rest of my life putting this work down. I wrote it down every single day for years, every single day. And that's what changed everything, healed everything physically. That's the mind-body connection again. Most illnesses, most difficulties that we feel physically are because of our disconnection and not loving ourselves. Horrible relationships, not having the right career, not being able to move forward, all of them are not accessing and moving through the next dimension of who we are, which is always in our consciousness. And so the wonderful thing that is occurring now, I'm getting to watch all these people move through those restrictions and deciding to discover their brilliance, it's just astonishing. And you'll hear so much of it. You've probably heard it already. But I'm saying this now because I'm going to be changing things because I have to. You can come into the program whenever, but I'm bringing people into the 4 weeks to your best life. That's the first thing, because anyone can do that. Anyone can afford it because it's 31 days, and all you have to do is do the 31 days, come to a group meeting, which we have a lot of fun. That's where we're loving each other, and you're a different person. And then you can decide to move on to your last development program, because that will completely transform every aspect of your life. But I'm talking about it today because this is how I'm celebrating my birthday and how I'm going to take my road to success by becoming my authentic self, which was this mystic that brought in all this information. That's what happened. And I invite you to try it, because we're going to be moving through this period for a little bit longer in our world. And so you will help yourself and help our world by deciding to become happy and taking the road to the success for you. See you soon.
I find this work is very powerful. They change a lot very quickly. It's like quite surprising how things are changing for me.
I want to say how grateful I am that you've done this. And the time that you've put through on this is just amazing. And as we get older and we put through something like this into the world, you don't know the benefits of it until years later.
I just want to thank you for the program. Probably a year or two ago, if there was a tough decision to make, especially about money or anything like that, I would let fear and worry guide me away from a decision that might have helped me grow.
I have moved. I have made some positive changes. Hey, good, bad, or ugly, you did it. That's the main thing.
When you say the time is now, and I always appreciate it, because now more than ever, I feel a little bit more satisfied with myself, because especially lately, I keep leaving a project not finished.
I love the program. I love the questions, but I think that being aware of everything that's inside of you and bringing it out onto paper, it really does make you step forward in that area.
The way the questions penetrate into your memory and into your past experiences is so unique. Yeah, it really goes deep very, very quickly. I mean, I'm only on day 3, but the way like the questions are presented and the things you read before and the whole steps you go through, probably a lot of people's experiences, but it goes really deep, really, really quickly.
I mean, every day has its difficulties, but like, it's better than it was. You know, I mean, I'm doing more things that I enjoy, and like I find that I personally feel like I'm meant to do my book and everything. And then with the acting, I'm working on all that.
I've been taking so much courses, like especially with this pandemic. I approach different from Tony Robbins, from Bob Proctor, from Jack Canfield, and also I've been following Abraham Hicks, but never really brought me the result that I wanted to do it. So I'm very, I mean, this course is very more, I found that I think it's a bit faster.
Roger, I just wanted to say thank you again, because a few years ago I realised that voice coaching wasn't the only thing that I could do, and that I had something else. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was.
For a limited time, learn more about how Roger can help you step into your best life by going to 4weekstoyourbestlife.com today.